Welcome everyone for today's yoga class. My name is Asya. Nice to meet you if this is your first time today. Today we're going to be doing a healthy back sequence for about half an hour. And for this class you might need a pair of blocks. I'm sitting one already. And it's always nice to have a bolster or a blanket nearby. You might not use it. Where I'm joining today from Berlin, it's quite warm, so I might not have to cover myself with a blanket, but you might need it for maybe cushioning your knees or something. So we're going to get started on our backs. Let's put the blocks aside. And I'm just going to lay on my back, feet flat on the floor. Maybe putting the props aside and arms by your side. And starting with maybe checking in with yourself first today. If you haven't done so maybe today so far, we tend to not have a lot of silent moments to ourselves. So just check in and see how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. Notice your breath going in and out through your nostrils, the back of the throat, and your belly rising and falling with each breath. Noticing the contact points with the floor, and the parts of your body that's touching the air. Maybe it's cool or warm. A healthy back starts with a healthy mind. So just using this time to settle into your body and into your mat. And we'll start with 3 breaths together. It will be 2 inhales followed by a long exhale. So just go ahead and take a regular breath in through the nose here. Fill up your belly and the chest. And exhale, side out. One more time in. And exhale. Starting here, into the belly. Hold. And another breath in. And release. Second round, in. And in again. Release. Last one deeper than the ones before. Hold. And another one. Hold it at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Great. Gently opening up the eyes and maybe just slowly starting to shift the hips and the knees, maybe letting the knees fall from side to side, just gently and slowly waking up the body in the laziest way possible here. And you might notice some kinks, some points of pain or release. Simply investigate. No need to evaluate here. And let the knees fall to the left side or whichever side that you prefer, and bring the knees on top of each other as well as the hands. We're going to start making big circles around the left shoulder joint. So the shoulder joint is actually staying there, but we're going to use the rest of the body and the torso to make a big circle as we inhale. Maybe making a cactus arm, gaze in the opposite direction. Exhale, close. We're going for 5 times in total. Inhale, open. Notice the stretch in your pec muscle, the chest. Exhale, close. Third round. Four. Gentle and small twists here. No need to go super intense. And at the last one, we're going to hold it here for 3. And 2. Breathe into the right chest, the right lung. Notice the stretch. And last one here. Slowly closing in. Great. Moving the right side of the body back on the mat. Open up. And we're going to switch sides. So I'll face away from you guys. Maybe this way you can see the other perspective. So hands are on top of each other, knees also. And we're going to slowly open up through the left arm. Maybe make a cactus arm here on the left arm. Exhale, close. Second round, in. And you can do this as slow or as fast as you want. 3. 2. And at the last one, remember, we're holding. 1. Stay here. Maybe the elbow touches, maybe not, for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly close in. Great. Back onto our hips. So I'm going to keep my feet about hip width apart. And we're going to go into a bridge pose here. I'm going to incorporate my arms here as well. So as I inhale, I'm going to lift up through the hips, the heels, arms are going overhead. Exhale, close. Starting to activate the lower body a bit more, as well as the torso, the back. Exhale, release. It doesn't have to be super deep, or you don't have to press too much up. We're still in the beginning of the practice. Now maybe here at the last one, inhale. Let the arms go over the head. You can even interlace the fingers. Maybe doing a stretch here. Press into the heels now. You can lift up the hips and the chest a bit more. Maybe even coming onto your toes. And release the heels down. Lift the toes up maybe here. Great. Slowly release. And we're going to start by pulling in the knees here before we move up. So maybe just massage the back. For some people, this might feel a bit intense as you're trying to roll up here, right? So if you need to come onto your side and take the time to just get up on your seat, that's also welcome. Let's do 2 more. Maybe you find your balance here at the top. Roll. And last one. Great. Let's come on to our seat here. So you can put a block if you want under your hips. And we're going to grab the other block here. We're going to do some holds here. So I'm just going to squeeze the block with my hands and lift it up to the top here. And I'm going to actively think about pressing the block in. And then think about, see if you can press forward with the shoulder blades and back. Maybe you can see me better from the side. So again, I'm sitting, pressing the block between the hands. Pull your shoulders forward and back. Forward and back. You might notice that maybe you're crunching with the shoulders. See if you can slightly bring them down on a regular collarbone level, let's say, keeping the arms parallel to the ground. So 4 and a 5. Great. Coming into a regular spot, so not necessarily pulling too much or pushing too much forward, but not all the way back. Find the middle ground here. Relax the arms. See if you can lift up the chest. You might notice that maybe the ribs are flaring. See if you can keep it in here. It becomes a bit more easier if your hips are elevated. higher than the knee. So if you need to sit on a bolster or a block, you're welcome. All right, holding the block here, still squeezing it. See if you can stretch to the left. So I'm gonna face you guys back again. Holding the block, imagine that you're just pressing into the right hip bone and growing tall on the right side. Pulling that power into your palm. The left arm can bend. Bring the gaze up. Back to the center, same thing on the other side. If you need to release for a moment, you can. And then pull the block up and then pull it to the right side. Initiate the movement from the left hip bone, slowly rolling and finding length on the left side. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Back to the center. Release the block. If you need to shake off the arms, feel free. Once again, arms are going up. Exhale to the left. Find your twist here for a moment. It doesn't have to be super deep. The next breath, left arm goes up. Maybe find length if you want to reach it back. And then bring it across into your other knee. So now we have this crisscross situation with the shoulders. See if you can round through the back, protract the shoulder blades, meaning they get away from each other and tuck in the head. Feel the stretch in the back of the arms. Great. Slowly release the right hand. This time it's reaching up and again, maybe back here. Back to the center. Great. This time we're doing the opposite side. So again, stretching. And release. Great. Whew. Okay. Let's make some circles around the shoulder joints. So bringing the hands on the shoulders and big circles here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch direction. We're going to start doing some drills here, and I hope you enjoyed them. Some of them might be a bit intense, or maybe some movement patterns that you're not really familiar with. Take the time if at any point you feel some kind of impingement or pain, maybe some kind of compression, meaning that we have like the bones really touching each other and it's really feeling uncomfortable. Please back off, find a range that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, we're going to start making some internal, external rotations with the arms. So we're just going to start with, imagine that you're holding bands here or some kind of straps with the hands. Pull it up. See if you can keep the elbows on the same level as shoulders. Release. Pull and release. Pull and release. You might even pull with the hands, and if you need to release the hands so that you kind of trick your brain that you're actually holding something. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Great. I'm going to keep my hands or my elbows and forearms parallel to the floor, and then imagine that you're squeezing balloons between your chest and the arms. Notice that my hand is also twisting, and it's almost that my thumbs are facing out. And then as they go up, they face in together. Exhale. Imagine that you're squeezing that balloon. Let's go for 5, 4. You might notice your lat muscles working here. 3. Press 2. And 1. Hold it here actively for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, shake it off. We're going to grab that block, and then we're going to do this, something that I like to teach a lot in my healthy back classes. We're going to try to rotate the arms and transfer the block between the hands. It's almost like you're doing your cow face pose, but instead this time we're going to transfer the block. So can be right hand, left hand, doesn't matter. Reach back, see if you can release the block in your left hand so the lower hand catches it, and switch. Great. If you have long hair, I recommend that you put it to the side. You might end up pulling it. Otherwise, you might notice that the first few rounds, maybe it takes you a little bit of time to find the rhythm. And you might notice that if you're really struggling, sometimes we tend to hold the breath. See if you can release. Don't forget to breathe here. And you can also cheat by resting the block slightly on the back and lean forwards and let it slide. The lower hand catches it. Gravity is our friend, right? All right, let's do last two on each side. Hopefully the arms are having that sensation of slight burning. Great. Now, if that was easy, we're moving on to the next stage. Otherwise, I recommend that you do this one more set. You can also just try and see how you feel when we reverse it. So now the block is going to go from lower hand to the upper hand. Oops, so for me, it's also a bit slower till I find my range and till I'm comfortable. Great. For 3, 2, and 1. On each side, that is, of course. Okay. Let's just take a moment to slow down. Release the arms on the lap if you want, or the legs. You can keep the palms facing up. And just observing the effects of the practice. Noticing the space around the shoulders, the chest. Maybe you're feeling warm or some kind of tingling sensation there. And again, we're just observing, investigating. So no need to evaluate anything. Right. Slowly open up the eyes. Shake it off once again. Let's go on to our tabletop here. Great. So we're going to start with very simple, our typical cat and cows here. I'm going to try to have a bit of more space than usual between the hands and the knees so that we can have some space from child's pose to maybe move, go into a circle, move forward, and the other side. Or if there's any other movement that feels natural or good. If you want to just do a regular spinal wave, you're welcome to do that. Working into the hips a bit more. Great. And then back to the center into our tabletop here. With the next one, I'm going to grab a block again. And you can have, I don't know, a thick book, an encyclopedia if you want. We're going to press into the block with the right hand. So now notice that my left shoulder is lower than my right. What I'm going to work towards is to press with my right hand, keeping everything stable, including my wrist. Press up so that they are on the same level and release. So the only thing that's moving really is my right shoulder joint. Press up and release. You might notice this especially on the same side core that it's being activated. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. And then now you can take that left hand out in front of you. Keep everything else stable. Great. Palm is facing on the inside of the mat. Maybe open it up to the side. Maybe reach back, thumb facing back or up. And we'll make 3 circles here in each direction. Close in again, keep everything else stable. Rotate, use your full range of motion on the left arm. That was the last round. We're going to switch direction. Hopefully you notice as much work happening on the right shoulder as the left shoulder. Great. And release. Put that block aside for a moment. Right hand is going to reach up. And let's go into thread the needle here for a second just to release that right shoulder. Left arm can go over the head. Great. At any point you're welcome to have a big sigh out just to release. Great. Slowly slide that left hand in front of you. Right arm is going to reach up and release. Now, same thing on the other side. This time I'm putting my hand on the left, or my left hand on the block. And notice, it's gonna be my left shoulder working, everything else is completely still. Imagine as if you're a robot and you can only work or move mechanically. Press forward with the left hand so the right hand lifts up and the shoulders are level. Release, up and release. You'll notice maybe on the left side, your chest activating the serratus muscles. It's really a great shoulder stabilizing work, as well as a nice core activator in my opinion. Let's do for 2. And at the last one, keep them in the same level for 3, 2, and 1. Left hand palm facing to the inner side of the mat, or to the left side. Lift it up, open it up to the side, and then maybe even have it so that the thumb faces up, palm facing out, and we'll make 3 circles here. 1. Don't forget to breathe. If you're holding your breath, it's a bit more challenging for me as I keep talking and do this at the same time. And let's switch direction. Last one. Great. Slowly release. Left hand is going to reach up and underneath. Great. Notice if your hips are swaying onto one side. See if you can bring them above the knees. You might feel the stretch a bit more this way on the right side as well. And slowly slide the hand. We got a few more works here to do. I think that was grammatically incorrect. A few more work to do, right? Yeah, a few more drills to do, let's say. Let's go into a puppy pose. Extend the hands forward and just keeping the forehead facing down. Okay, come onto the fingertips. See if you can play around with the shoulder position or the shoulder blade positioning rather. Maybe you can try to bring the shoulder blades together. The shoulder blades retract. So they're kissing. And exhale, you can kind of think about hugging in your shoulders, rounding through the upper back. Now the shoulder blades are protracting. Let's do that a few more times. Make them touch. Maybe the head comes closer to the ground. Exhale, scoop them around. Let's do one more time. Inhale, retract. Exhale, protract as much as possible. Great. Slowly lean forward a little bit, sliding the hands in. And let's go into our downward facing dog. Tuck in the toes. Lift up and pedal out the feet. Great. This is the first downward dog of the day. Take the time to settle in. I always like to stretch my calves here a bit. It feels good. So you can just put the weight onto the right foot. Maybe come onto the toe. Lift up. I know it's mostly shoulder and backward for this video, but a little bit of footwork does not hurt anyone. Great. Release. So we're going to try to come into a dolphin, or maybe lower the elbows. We'll take the time to maybe warm up. Release the knees on the floor, keep the toes tucked in, and just lean forward. Maybe the nose touches the ground and back. Lean forward and back. Try to think about pushing the floor away with your shoulder blades at all times so that we don't dump the weight into the shoulders. Great. Maybe tuck in the toes, lift the knees off the floor. Same thing here. Sort of like a modified hovering tabletop / plank. Last one here. All right. Release. If you already have it in your practice, keep the hands where they are. Squeezing the elbows together and lift the hips up into your downward dog. You can keep the knees as bent as you want. See if you can bring the chest closer to your upper legs. Push the floor away. Great. Now I'm going to think about almost as if I'm doing a concave move around my shoulders. Press the floor away with the shoulders. Draw almost like a half circle with the shoulders again. Lean forward, tap the big thumbs with your nose, and back. Exhale, release, back. At the most forceful part of the move, you can use the power of exhale to push you back. So 2 more. And last one. Great. Release the knees down. Head on the floor. If you want to release the shoulders, you can also bring the hands by your side. Let the shoulder blades fall down. Cover you. And feeling the stretch in the back. A very small breathing exercise here. See if you can breathe into your low back. Imagine that you're wearing your blue jeans. You're breathing into your back pockets, almost going into your glutes. Do that for 10 breaths in total. Slowing down the breathing, the heart rate. How quickly can you recover from the intensity of the moves here? Nearly halfway. Notice with each exhale melting into the mat. Your body becoming a big blanket here, just coming close. In the same level with the ground. Imagine that you're breathing with the backside of your chest, the torso, and the low back. And last 2 breaths. Great. And slowly reach forward with the hands. See if you can lift yourself up. Come onto your seat. One more very small drill here. So we did a lot of flexion and forward moves. We're just going to try to kind of stretch the front of the chest and bring or extend the shoulders back. We have 2 options to do this. You can either think about facing the palms to the back side of the room and press them up. Feel the stretch in the front of the body. Notice if you're arching the back, see if you can keep your pelvis neutral in the spine and let the movement come from shoulder blades, or shoulders rather. Another way to maybe challenge us a bit more is to have that block, the same thing we did in the beginning of the class, except that this time we're going to try to squeeze the block together. You might notice that if you grab the block, then it becomes easier, but we're kind of cheating here. It comes a bit of a more passive stretch. See if you can just hold that block. You can have a micro bend in the elbows, press it back, keep the shoulders open for 3, 2, and 1. Either now you can grab the block or you can release and even interlace the fingers together. Now we can stretch. Maybe even leaning over the legs. Hands over the head. Slowly release it back. Keep the fingers interlaced or with the block if you want. I'm going to bring the hands to my left side of the waist and let the head tilt to the left side. So it looks like this from the front. Feel the stretch on your neck, maybe the upper traps a bit. You can even tilt the head a bit forward and back, making rotational moves just to feel the stretch. Right. Slowly back to the center, change sides, and tilt the head to the right. All right. You can really think about using the right hand to kind of pull that left hand and the arm away from you, away from the left shoulder joint. Again, you can move the head, bring the gaze up. Great. Release. Release the hands, the arms, shake them off. Great. Let's come into our closing meditation on the back. So we can extend the legs forward. Kind of coming back to the same spot where we started. Arms by your side. Right. And here we're just gonna move the arms one at a time just to find some relaxation. Again, you can let the left hand rest on the side of your body. Inhale, right arm goes over the head. Exhale, release. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more. And last one. Exhale, release for a moment. And just observe any difference between both sides. Maybe the right shoulder or the right arm is feeling longer, maybe more spacious. Maybe there's no difference at all. And just observing. Prepare with the next breath. Inhale, left arm goes over the head. Exhale, imagine that you're just gently pushing a cloud or a soft balloon away. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, push it away. Notice the shoulder blade moving on the mat. Maybe different parts of the shoulder and the shoulder blade is touching the mat as you keep moving the hand and the arm. And this is the last one here. And release. We'll go for our final pose, shavasana here. You can take a pillow or a bolster to support you. Maybe your legs. You can put it under the knees. Doing whatever feels good. Even making yourself 1% more comfortable makes a difference. Great. And once you get settled here, maybe just finding one last stretch here. See if you can engage the whole body, squeeze the fists, point the toes, maybe the hips lift off for a moment. And release. Completely relax here. If you need to adjust the glutes one more time, the feet, the legs, arms. I like to open my chest in shavasana a lot, but some people prefer their arms by their side. So whatever feels good. Let the mind do what it wants to do. This is also a part of the meditation. See if you can just stay connected to your breath. You can stay here as long as you'd like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, letting the practice marinate. I'll be ending here. Thank you so much for joining this practice. Short and sweet. And see you next time on the mat again. Thank you.